Hello guys, and welcome to a special video we're releasing today on the channel. What you're going to see today is pre-season sessions with Charlton Athletic's first team, which were recorded in 2015 before the Sky Bet Championship season. The sessions you're going to see were a couple of the first sessions we did after the goalkeepers had returned from their summer break. So the work is all related to being quite early in pre-season. There's not too much intensity. There's a lot of focus on the technical work, getting their hands back in on the ball, a lot of contacts, and just going through the various saves so the goalkeepers feel comfortable, so that when pre-season pushes on, they're ready to deal with random shot stopping and more intense work. The next thing to address is, obviously I'm sure you can see the camera is a little bit flickery at times. This camera is used for 50 plus sessions that we did during the season at Charlton. It took a bit of a battering sometimes with the football, so this was when the camera was sort of on its last leg, so do forgive me for the video flickering throughout. There is little bits and pieces where it does that, so I do apologise, but the footage is hopefully still very good and the quality is still there. At the time, I found myself in a very interesting position that I never really or could have thought would have happened, where I was working with goalkeeper coaches Ben Roberts and Tom Fordry. Ben's now at Brighton and Tom is at Melbourne Victory. And in that summer, Tom and Ben both moved on to different clubs, which left myself as the only senior goalkeeper coach left at the club working within the academy. So when we came back in during the summer, I obviously had to work with the first team for about 4 weeks, and the under-18s and the youth academy. So I was doing them all at one time before our next goalkeeper coach came in to take the first team. Also during this time, I was really fortunate to have one of my old goalkeeper coaches when I was young come in to take over with the under-21s and 18s, which is Lee Smelt, who came over from Arsenal. And Lee has been someone I've known for a long time and is a fantastic coach, and also a fantastic mentor, so it was excellent to have him come into the club. In these couple of sessions, with the work you're going to see, the goalkeepers who are taking part are Stephen Henderson, Dimitar, Mitov, Nick Pope and Dillon Phillips. In the time that's elapsed since 2015 to now, in this situation that you're watching on the screen, the goalkeepers have obviously moved on in some regards. Dillon Phillips is now the #1 at Charlton Athletic and has done exceptionally well in his career, and has become a really sturdy goalkeeper, and looks to have a really good career ahead of him, whether he stays at Charlton or moves on. Nick Pope is now Burnley's #1 and has been in the England squad, as a lot of you know. Stephen Henderson moved on and is now at Crystal Palace in the first team, and then Dimitar Mitov also moved on and is now the #1 at Cambridge United. At the time, I'd only just turned 25 years old, so it was a real honour and privilege to be able to work with these guys for those period of weeks that I did. And obviously I was a young goalkeeper coach, and this was my first step into working with the first team, where a lot of my career so far I've been working within grassroots, obviously running my own business, and then working with the youth academy of under-9s to under-16s and stepping in with the under-18s and 21s on occasions. So in terms of the quality of goalkeeper that I was working with, obviously it was a major step up going into first team work, and also being involved in a situation that I and many others have never maybe been involved with, working with the first team in the Championship, which is obviously the league below the Premier League, very high level, working with very high level goalkeepers and meeting the demands and the needs of what they needed at that particular time, having just come in after their summer break. They were all fantastic with me when I was working there. At the time, Dylan, Nick and Dimmy were all younger than myself, but Stephen was older than me, and Steve was excellent. I had a few conversations with him at the time about what his expectations were and what he wanted out of the first 2 or 3 weeks that I'd be working with him, just to get him sharp and get him in a position where he was ready to work more heavily with the new first team goalkeeper coach that was going to come in. So Steve was a really, really big help at the time, and I really appreciate everything he did during those few weeks. In terms of my career at Charlton Athletic, this happened to be my last season at Charlton, so I completed 2 full seasons with the club, getting to work with the goalkeepers from under 9s all the way through to the first team, and I also had a hand in selecting and working very briefly with the under 7s to under 8s as to who would be coming up into our academy setup. At the time when I was working at Charlton Athletic and it got towards the end of my second season, I had a very big decision to make in terms of whether I was going to try and commit more to Charlton when I was living, roughly over an hour away from the training ground, or whether I would continue to work with my own business. In terms of working with the standard goalkeepers that you do in academy football and under 18s, under 21s and first team, it's absolutely fantastic. That cannot be denied. The standard of facilities, the places you visit are excellent. However, I've committed so much to my own business, and I had done at that time, to get it into a position that was doing well, working with lots of different goalkeepers, different ages, different clubs. It was very hard for me to be in a position where I'd want to give that up. So at the end of the 2015 and 2016 season, I made the choice to move on from Charlton and continue to push and grow my own business. I thoroughly enjoyed my time at Charlton Athletic. It was a superb learning tool. I look back on it extremely fondly, and the goalkeepers that I worked with were fantastic. We had some great personalities and some really good goalkeepers that were at the club. Some of them are still there to this day. I think one of the big things for goalkeepers to take notice of, and in particular young goalkeepers, when watching this video of the Charlton goalkeepers, even though it is 5 years ago, is the particular care that they take with every action that they're performing. There's always a big premium placed on performing actions well and performing them concisely and precisely, making sure handling techniques were always on point to the best that they could perform. And obviously in terms of general technical performance, this is the difference between winning points at the highest level, winning games, winning leagues, and managers keeping jobs, etc. So the fine details of goalkeeping at this level are absolutely crucial. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this footage today of the Charlton goalkeepers. Once again, this is pre-season footage, first couple of sessions in the 2015-16 season. Thank you for watching this. If you like the video, then give it a thumbs up. If you're enjoying the videos that we're dropping at the minute, then please give the channel a subscribe. I really appreciate it. We're going to be coming out with a lot more videos in the future. Once again, thank you for watching the video. I hope it brought you some value and brought you some valuable content that maybe you can use to further your own goalkeeping performance and knowledge. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all soon.